Group of stray cats actually predicted a major natural disaster, but nobody listened. But before we start, please make sure to subscribe to M&R TV and hit the bell so you never miss any upload from us. Also, leave a like right now. If you were an explorer in search of something unusual, you'd find it in Tashirojima, Japan, where you'd be greeted by a sight that's downright bizarre. Cats. Cats everywhere. On the sidewalks, stretching against storefronts and lazing on the docks. Cats everywhere you turn. It's either a dream come true or a very specific kind of nightmare. For the people of Tashirojima Island, the cat population goes back and forth between being a blessing and a curse. In 2011, though, it was clear that the cats knew something the people didn't. When they finally figured out what the cats were trying to tell them, however, disaster was already heading their way. Clearly, dog people learned to adapt on Tashirojima, aka Cat Island. They pretty much have to, or they'd be miserable on the island where cats officially outnumber humans. How Tashirojima earned the name Cat Island goes way back to the mid-18th century. Japan's late Edo period was characterized by economic growth, enjoyment of arts and entertainment, and a stable population, all of which made its way to the island of Tashirojima, just not in the way people expected. The people of Tashirojima were incredibly hardworking, and so were their cats. Between the 18th and 19th centuries, people on the island raised silkworms for their textiles. The problem? The island's mouse population preyed on the precious silkworms. Luckily for the workers, there was a clear solution. Every mouse has a hungry cat right on its tail, and before long, the island's cat population grew to accommodate that of the mice. But there was a hitch in the workers' plan. When you have stray cats on an island, there's really only a handful of things they can do: hunt, sleep, and mate. Before Tashirojima knew it, the island was overrun with cats. It helped that the island was sustained by the fishing industry. In that way, Tashirojima became something of a cat's paradise. It was lousy with fish and mice. It was covered with interesting peaks and trails for the cats to explore. And as the generations passed, the island mainly became home to cat enthusiasts. And cat enthusiast may not be a strong enough word. Every store, hotel, and home on Cat Island has a litany of cat toys, and tourism guides recommend that visitors bring their own cat food, since it's always sold out on the island. Even the most grizzled residents have soft spots for the cats. There's a mythology among fishermen that the cats bring good luck. When a fisherman once accidentally killed a cat, he felt so guilty that he built something unusual in the middle of the island. He built a shrine for the animal, which has become a tourist attraction and a favorite haunt among the island's many felines, mainly because people leave cat toys around the shrine. Weirdly enough, that's not the only cat shrine in the area. There are at least 9 more scattered across the Miyagi Prefecture. As more tourists head to Tashirojima to see Cat Island for themselves, a couple of cat-themed attractions have popped up. You can even find little inns designed to resemble the island's favorite 4-legged animals. If you want to bring your dog to the island, you're out of luck. It's strictly forbidden in order to protect the cats from harm. It shouldn't come as a surprise that the human population of Tashirojima has grown fond of the cats. And though it's considered inappropriate to keep the cats as pets, some of the felines have endeared themselves to the humans more than others. One such cat, named Droopy-Eared Jack, even hit the big time. A movie was made about him that was turned into a series, and tourists head over to the island specifically to find Jack. Droopy-Eared Jack may not sound like a particularly powerful cat, but don't let the endearing name fool you. Whether big or small, every cat on Cat Island is treated with respect. After all, good fortune comes to fishermen who feed the strays. But in 2011, they learned that this isn't always the case. On March 11th of that year, the cats suddenly started wailing. That alone wasn't unusual, but what was unusual was just how many cats were howling out of nowhere. It seemed that wherever you went, there was a cat wailing at whoever would listen. But that was the problem. No one listened. It was weird, that a majority of the cats were making a ruckus when usually they didn't, but no one knew what to make of it. Weirdest of all was the way the cats looked. Every cat owner knows what it looks like when a cat feels threatened. Their tails puff up, their ears flatten out, their eyes become the size of dinner plates. Unfortunately, by the time anyone realized what this meant, it was too late. Hours after the howling began, a 9.0 magnitude earthquake hit Tohoku, sending a merciless tsunami in its wake, which headed right towards Tashirojima. The island and its four-legged friends scrambled for cover, hoping the cat's good luck would save them. In a way, it did. Most of Tashirojima was still standing after the tsunami passed. Though buildings on the shore were damaged, a majority of houses were intact. One of the first things people did was roam the streets in search of any feline survivors. It was impossible to protect all of the cats, so the people of Tashirojima were afraid of what they would find. Luckily, they had no reason to fear. Slowly but surely, most of the cats reappeared in town, wet and grouchy, but alive. As Cat Island grows into a playground for cats and tourists alike, no one can forget the time the furry felines almost sacrificed their 9 lives to warn Tashirojima of impending doom. Weirdly enough, it's only one of Japan's many animal-conquered islands.